Hi, Amy here. For the second week of this course and for the topic of my informative speech, I would like to share some information with you guys about the decline of people being born with Down syndrome due to outcomes from optional prenatal testing. I'd come across an article a few months ago that I found fascinating, where it said that worldwide, the trends of people being born with Down syndrome are in a great decline due to outcomes from prenatal testing, which is completely optional. Um, I suppose the best place to start this informative speech is to briefly go over what syndrome is. Chances are you've met someone with Down syndrome, perhaps you know someone with Down syndrome. Down syndrome is a genetic disorder where on your 21st chromosome, you have three chromosomes instead of just two. This small change in your genetic programming can cause a wide range of issues. What is most common to notice someone who has Down syndrome, there are very unique facial features, and there's also a difference in their mental capacity. According to the National Association of Down Syndrome, on average, a person with Down syndrome has a life expectancy of 60 years. And currently, there are roughly 6 million people worldwide with Down syndrome. But with the current trends as they are, and with the downward decline, that number will be going down. My research began on this topic when I read an article a few months ago about Iceland. Iceland is a country with over 330,000 people, and the article said that there are 1 to 2 babies born every year with Down syndrome. And at first I thought it was a typo. I'm like, oh, that's really interesting. So I did a bit more research, and I found out that no, it wasn't a typo. It's actually correct. In Iceland, expectant mothers are given optional prenatal testing. It's also known as combination testing, and it tests for a wide range of genetic disorders. But it seems that when the test comes back positive for Down syndrome, over 99% of women in Iceland opt to terminate the pregnancy. In Iceland, it is legal to terminate a pregnancy after 16 weeks if there is a deformity or any kind of issue. And Down syndrome does fall into that long list of issues that would be applicable to that potential situation. So after I learned this about Iceland and did a lot of research and reading and fact checking on my own, I said, well, gosh, I wonder if that trend is followed in other major countries, or is this just specific to Iceland? Is it a social construct that's occurring, or is it, a bigger situation? And what I learned is that in Denmark, there is a 98% termination rate for positive Down syndrome testing. In the United Kingdom, that number is 90%. In the United States, we follow with 85%. And what I could find out about France is that their current rate is 77%. I find this to be fascinating. And, it could be a difficult topic for people for a wide range of reasons that I won't get into here. But being informed is so very important. Even when it's a topic that's uncomfortable, that's usually when you need to know even more and dive in and learn everything you can. So let's see. To recap, Down syndrome is a genetic disorder when you have three chromosomes rather than two on your 21st chromosome. The average life expectancy of a person with Down syndrome is 60 years. In Iceland, a country with 330,000 people, there are 1 to 2 live births of people with Down syndrome due to the fact that people are having optional prenatal testing and choosing to abort over 99% of pregnancies affected with Down syndrome. And that worldwide, the rates are quite high. So the number of 6 million people worldwide will be going down. Anyhow, I hope that you found this interesting and that you've learned a bit. Have a great night.